So it's 7:02, so we can get started. We will have our roll call and call our meeting to order. Jim Hogan,
Here.
Matt Lowry,
Here.
and Kevin York,
Here.
and myself, Theo Knoll. I'm here. Bill Spalding is not available tonight, so that's we've got our quorum. I do want to point everyone to our website and our amended agenda, which we posted this morning in accordance with applicable rules regarding open meeting laws, et cetera. And we'll get to that in a second. Second item is our approval of our May 14th minutes. Is there a motion?
Motion to accept the May 14th minutes as presented.
All right, thank you. Second.
Second.
Thank you. Thank you, Matt. And all in favor? Kevin?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And myself, I abstain. So the motion passes 3-0 with one abstention. The reason why we amended our agenda was our third item on our agenda is to acknowledge that we've received an open meeting law complaint. And this is regarding the development of the potential reduced map, which was introduced at town meeting. We're not going to discuss the complaint here, except to say we received the complaint. Tom Mullen has started, circled back with us. We need to make a motion to formally refer this to him so that he can formally address this with the complainant and the Attorney General's office. And as part of that process, obviously, Jim and I will be following up with him regarding the facts related to the complaint. So. So with that, can I get a motion to refer the meeting law, the open meeting law complaint that the planning board received on May 3rd to Town Council Tom Mullen?
So moved.
To adjourn. Thank you. Any second?
Second.
All right, thank you, Kevin. And all in favor, Kevin?
Yes.
Matt?
Yes.
Jim?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So, yeah, so we will follow up with all of that and proceed accordingly. I'm just for the record, I'm running against that 13-minute clock that y'all had on May 14th. Our fourth item is the election of a chair and vice chair for this term. With Bill not in attendance, is this an item we want to postpone to the next meeting, or how do y'all want to proceed?
I would recommend waiting until we have the full,
right.
The full board. It's not a pressing issue that changes anything if we don't have a different chair at this point. So
okay, all right.
I agree with Mr. Lowry.
Yeah, terrific. Okay, very good. Then we are cruising right along. The fifth item on the agenda is items not anticipated by the chair, and I think it does give us an opportunity to catch up on any questions that people have, or other things that are in the works for sure. So, and this is also the open to Sam and Susan as well. So, any items from the board? No.
I think there is one item, given the number
Yeah.
of people who have called in and their past interest. So in my understanding, talking to members of the town council is that town council is looking at next steps regarding 3A. And that is the reason why we have not formally discussed it as part of this board.
Yeah.
So I want to acknowledge that so folks can understand that there are the process of which the next steps for that potential fall town meeting proposal warrant item. In order to not duplicate efforts, we haven't started any public meetings as the town council is looking at this, and they may or may not, as my understanding, be looking at having a specific group as part of that body look at alternative maps that could or could not be the basis of a town warrant article. So for right now, we are waiting for them to make a decision as it relates to if they're going to pick that item up. And if they do, then we will support them in any way that would be appropriate. And if they do not, then we as a body would pick it back up, consistent with our obligations as part of the town. I don't think any formal decision has been made. So at this point, probably would make sense for whoever is elected as the next chair of the planning board to reach out to the appropriate members of the town council to see what the status of their conversations are.
Yeah. Okay. All right. That's a really helpful update. Yeah. And I know we're all committed to doing, fulfilling our obligations and I think, continuing to participate in the discussions in doing, we're all committed to serving the town. So, and moving that along. Anyone else? I had, I will say, Aaron had sent around, and Samantha, if you want to respond to this too. There's some revisiting of the master plan and sort of circling back to, I think, address that and make it. There were some frustrations with some of the utility of the document as was received. So we're I think going back to an editing process with the master plan.
Yeah, we had kind of gone over what some of our concerns were in-house and then reached out to the consultant and have worked out that we will be continuing to edit the project going forward so that we'll have a very usable and digestible product in the end and a usable master plan. If anybody has any comments and once has reviewed the draft or has anything that they want to add, please feel free to email me. I'm happy to coordinate that or answer any questions that anybody has specifically about the continuation of the master plan.
Okay. All right. Great. All right. Thank you.
Samantha, do we have an estimated timeline for when we think the final document would be published?
No, MAPC is wrapping up a couple different very big projects. And then once we get started on that, then we'll be able to have a timeline from there on what the exact dates are. We're going to be working on the master plan as well as the MBTA communities, and I'll also have the housing production plan. So we want to try to do the best, or at least I want to try to do the best I can to not overlap them too much. So we'll be working out what that timeline is. And of course, we want to try to get the master plan done sooner than later, because that one is, I think, pretty time sensitive for us and quite important. So that one will be that, as well as MBTA communities, as that has a nearing deadline. Those two things will be taking the highest priorities of Aaron and I's time. It won't just be me working on all of those different projects. But as soon as we know, I'm happy to pop back in and let everybody know exactly what the timeline is for the master plan.
Okay. That's really helpful. All right. I think my only other items are to when we talk about our next couple of meeting agendas, it's coming back to the bylaw review, coming back to the rules and regulations for subdivision control review. And I wanted to give the planning board just a couple updates on the emails we received in addition to the open meeting law complaint. We received an email from the Environmental Sustainability Committee regarding how to encourage and incorporate into our rules in order to promote recycling in multifamily properties, and when they might discuss that with the planning board. So that's a sort of a welcome discussion at some point, and we can come back to that. And I welcome folks' thoughts about when to do that. We received we received 3 emails regarding any potential proposed marijuana enterprises and issues related to the industry in general and the Cannabis Commission. We received these sort of around and immediately after town meeting, which makes sense because that was one of the warrant articles. We also received another question regarding MBTA communities and future planning efforts and the creation of alternative maps to help, I think, visualize alternatives. So, and there were other comments within that email that were also echoed at town meeting. So those are the updates from me. Matt or Kevin or anybody else? Okay. All right. Okay. Nothing else, Samantha or Susan? Okay. Good stuff. All right. So for next meeting's agenda, we're going to have the chair and vice chair election. We may have some other updates as information becomes available. And yeah, I don't. Kevin, let me know when you want to update the planning board about the bylaw review. I'm definitely I need to get myself reacclimated as well. So.
Yeah, we haven't done a lot the past 2 meetings. Attorney Bobrowski hasn't been able to make those, so there's no hard updates at this point, not yet.
Okay.
You have a meeting next Monday.
All right. Very good. Okay. All right. Well, with that, if no one has any other items before the board, we can take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
All right. Thank you, Matt. And
I'll second.
all right. Thank you, Kevin. All right. All in favor? Jim?
Yes.
Yeah. Matt?
Yes.
Kevin?
Yes.
And myself, yes. So, yeah. All right. I didn't meet the 13-minute mark, but we did okay. But it's nice to be back and looking forward to a productive summer. And so thank you all for joining, and thanks the members of the public for joining as well. All right. Talk to
One
you all
quick
soon.
thing before everybody
Yeah.
goes, just want to let you all know I will be in person beginning June 4th, which
Woohoo.
is Tuesday.
All right.
It would be Monday, except I have a house inspection. So I won't
All
be
right.
in that.
Got it. All right. Congratulations. I know it hasn't been an easy process. Yeah. Yeah.
No, quite the adventure. Anyways, I
Yeah.
will see you all soon. Let me know if anybody wants to meet or come in and chat about any of the projects. Feel free to email me and I'm happy to start scheduling that.
That's great. All right. Fantastic. Lovely. All right. Great stuff.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
everybody. All right. Bye.